Following Jesus isn't always easy, but it's not complicated. This is Simple Faith in 5. Each weekday, we take the teachings of Jesus combined with a spiritual discipline, and we grow our faith in 5-minute moments. Click subscribe to make sure that you don't miss a one. One of the strongest forms of evidence is a changed life. Think about it. When somebody is clearly different from something, you want to know why. When someone loses a bunch of weight, you want to know how. When somebody suddenly finds joy, you want to know how. When somebody you know is clearly different, more loving, more humble, more free, it makes you curious. And after the resurrection of Jesus, everything changed. Cowardly disciples became bold witnesses. Doubters became proclaimers. Ordinary people gave their lives for this truth. In fact, one of the greatest evidences for our faith is the fact that these disciples who couldn't get out of their own way, who were hiding in an upper room, were suddenly running around telling everybody about Jesus days after his resurrection. In fact, when one of them ends up being arrested, they say, "We cannot stop talking about what we have seen and what we have heard." The Apostle Paul writes this, "If Christ has not been raised, our faith is useless. But Christ has been raised, and lives continue to be transformed." So let me ask you this. How has your life been transformed? Write down these 3 questions. What was life like before Jesus? And just jot down a few things. It doesn't have to be long. It's not an essay. It's not the SAT. Just write down a few things about how things have been changed or how things were before. Then write down how things were changed. How was life after Jesus? Obviously, it doesn't change overnight, but things begin to progress. You begin to find hope. Maybe you sleep better knowing that things are square with you and God because you've taken on what his Son has done. And then you begin to see evidence of him in your life. And then write down the answer to this question. What did Jesus do? What caused that change? Your answer is going to be his resurrection provided the way for yours. Now, with those answers in mind, you can basically move into your spiritual discipline this week of witness. Take note of how Jesus has changed you. Even small changes matter. Your story is part of the evidence. No one can argue with your story. Well, thanks for joining us today. Pass this along to a friend, and we will see you tomorrow. And as always, keep it simple.